Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Modern Maniacs, brought to you by MTGCardMarket.com. I'm AJ Soccer, and today we're playing Craig Wescoe's Green-White Hatebears deck. It is really Wescoe, just white weenie, just bob and weave, really grind them out with grizzly bears. Um, so we have some mana acceleration and I guess just cheating with Aether Vial and the Noble Hierarch, as well as some Path to Exiles as removal. And the rest of the deck is just dudes, just creatures. Four Voice of Resurgence, good against instants and most removal. Pride Mage for artifacts or enchantments. Also Exalted is pretty good at pushing through specific creatures. Scavenging Ooze just grows really big, is good against graveyard strategies, and can gain some life, and is just really big. Thalia is a pretty traditional hate bear. Ooh, I even have the special promo ones. Shiny. First Strike, non-creature spells cost one more to cast. Very simple, but very potent. When you have initiative, making their spells cost one more is really good, especially if they are a combo deck. I'll come back to the Arbiters. Smiters are bolt proof, which is pretty huge in Modern. Can't be countered, which is pretty nice in Modern. That includes Remand. And if a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard it, you put it into play instead. This is anti-Liliana of the Veil, or Kolaghan's Command, as we saw in his top 8 match against Corey Burkhart. So that's pretty good. Brimaz also bolt proof and just good, plays both sides. And come back to the Aven Mind Sensors. Wiltleaf Lieges, they have the same Smiter Claws, good against the discard. And it anthems your creatures. It gives all of them +1/+1, but it gives these gold ones +2/+2, which is extra powerful. They also do pump each other, which is nice. And one Linvala, just another flyer, unboltable, and stops a lot of shenanigans that can happen in Modern. But the cool part about this deck, I would argue, is these 6 cards. The 2 Aven Mind Sensors and the 4 Leonin Arbiters, or as Wescoe calls them, Bird and Cat. So you make it so that they can't search their libraries, which makes their fetch lands that much worse, and that's pretty huge in Modern. It makes your paths that much better, and can turn your ghost quarters into strip mines or wastelands, which is also extremely potent. With Aether Vial, the Arbiter can kind of be a surprise, and the Aven Mind Sensors have Flash, so they're always a surprise. Just an angle of attack that we've seen before, but this is probably the best execution of it, at least that I've ever seen. To supplement the Mana Denial plan, there's also 2 Tectonic Edges, special lands, 2 Stirring Wildwood, the 3/4 Reach manland from Worldwake, and 4 Horizon Canopy. It's kind of cool that this is a fetchless mana base. Just uses straight Temple Gardens, Razorverge Thickets, 1 of each basic, and these special duels along with the colorless lands. Canopy is super powerful, and don't really get to use it because there's not a lot of super proactive green-white decks that don't need all of their land slots to go to fetches and duels, or specific specialty lands like Mutavault or Ghost Quarter or Tectonic Edge. So getting to play 4 canopies is pretty awesome. I imagine that Knight of the Reliquary over Smiter is something that Wescoe considered, or that other people have tried, because it does work well with these specialty lands, but something about the can't be countered and discard clause are more important than the potential bigger size and the ability to search out. I imagine you just want to be attacking a lot rather than sitting back and tapping your creatures to activate. Let's go to the sideboard for protection from red creatures, obviously for burn, and then the Forge Tenders can protect your board against things that like Pyroclasm that affect the whole board. 4 Stony Silence, really just hateful in the fact that he actually ended up losing 2 Affinity in the top 4. Despite this is pretty telling. Affinity can be pretty strong. And in his wrap-up, or his tournament report, he actually suggested maybe playing like another Pride Mage and a Creeping Corrosion in the board, because the matchup does need that much help. But I'm just playing his GP list today. 2 Dismembers, good against Twin, other creatures. Sigarda, big hexproof idiot, and also happens to have some semi-relevant text. Goddic Teague for various combo decks, cryptic commands, etc. Spellskite, obviously, and then the one of Choke that we saw do a lot of work for him on camera as well. So if you thought the main deck was hateful, there's some very specified hate in the board as well. This is aptly named Hatebears.